Today we will discuss heat transfer. Earlier we had discussed the mass transfer. Now we will discuss the heat transfer. What is the heat transfer? What is heat transfer? Heat is nothing but it is the energy transfer, and transfer it means that if there is in a system, then energy is transferred, and if energy is transferred, so energy transfer is of, if it is in the form of heat, then it is only due to the temperature difference. So heat transfer is nothing but it is the amount of energy transfer by virtue of your temperature difference. Okay, so how much amount of the heat has been transferred? So the value of heat transferred is always is equal to mc delta T. What is m? M is the mass. Okay, what is the mass of the system? C is known as specific heat. Specific heat, and delta T is your temperature difference. Temperature difference. And by virtue of this temperature difference, only heat has been transferred. Okay, so this much amount of the heat has been transferred if there is any temperature difference occurs. Sorry. So mc delta T. So how to define the specific heat? How to define the specific heat? So heat transferred Q is equal to mc delta T. So if we take Q is equal to 1 joule, mass as 1 kilogram, delta T is 1 degree centigrade, 1 degree centigrade or 1 degree Kelvin, because it is a temperature difference, so it is 1 degree unit. Then Q is, if we put the value, then C is equal to Q. I am taking not Q as m is equal to 1 kilogram and delta T is equal to 1 degree centigrade, then C becomes Q. So specific heat is nothing but it is the amount of energy required, the amount of heat. This energy is nothing but it is the heat. So specific heat is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature by 1 degree centigrade of 1 kg substance. So specific heat is defined as the amount of heat required, the amount of heat required to raise the temperature by 1 degree, 1 unit, or 1 kg of substance. So this is basically a specific heat. Okay, so what is the heat transfer and how much amount of the heat transfer is? So heat transfer is nothing but it is the energy transfer by virtue of temperature difference, and its value is always being calculated by using the formula mc delta T. Now this is the specific heat, the amount of the heat required, to raise a unit mass of a substance through a unit rise in temperature, and its unit kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. Okay, so this much is the specific heat. Now what is the latent heat? Latent heat is nothing but it is the amount of the heat transferred during a phase change. Suppose we have 100 degree centigrade water and it has been converted into 100 degree centigrade vapor. Okay, so it is water in a liquid phase, and here the water is in the gaseous phase. So phase change has been taken place while the temperature remains constant, that is 100 degrees centigrade. So the amount of the heat required for this conversion is basically known as latent heat. So it may be latent heat when the substance changes from liquid to gas, or sometime it is from solid to liquid, or sometimes solid to gas. Solid to gas, it's latent heat of sublimation. This is sublimation. Latent heat of sublimation when from solid to directly goes to gas. So this much amount of the heat is required for this conversion from solid to liquid, and this is from liquid to vapor. This is the vaporization. This is condensation. So by this you can easily find out what is the latent heat. Latent heat is nothing but it is the amount of heat required when your temperature remains constant. Latent heat when temperature remains constant, and always remember phase must changes for the latent heat. Phase must changes. Okay. Now, as in case of work transfer, we have calculated how much work has been transferred for different processes. So in the same way, the heat transfer, basically we have to study about the heat transfer for two different processes, that is an isochoric process and an isobaric process. And because since we know that Q is equal to mc delta T, where C is the specific heat, so in isochoric process we use Cv, that is the specific heat at constant volume, while in case of an isobaric process we will use Cp, that is the specific heat at constant pressure, that we will discuss later on. So what is the specific heat at constant volume? Suppose this is a piston, we have been a piston, and some gas is present inside this piston cylinder arrangement, and here it is an stopper is being used. A stopper has been used so that the piston does not move, it is fixed. Since the this piston is fixed, then when we provide the heat to this piston, so the piston does not move, and once the piston does not move, what does it mean? It means that the volume inside this chamber or our system is always remains constant. So since the volume is constant, so it is known as an isochoric process. Now suppose heat is given to this one, then what will happen? The gas inside the volume, inside this system or inside this volume gets agitated, and randomness of the gases will increases, and due to the increase in the randomness, the collision takes place, and number of collision, because of this number of collision, the temperature rises in this particular area. Okay, so because of this there is a temperature difference, and once the temperature difference is there, then heat transfer will definitely take place. But this heat transfer at constant, this heat transfer is at constant volume, that's why it is known as an isochoric. So the value of this heat transfer is mCv delta T, where this Cv is nothing but it is the specific heat at constant, it is specific heat at constant volume, where Cv is the specific heat at constant volume, and its unit is kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. This is the unit. Okay, so this amount of heat is nothing but it is used for changing the internal energy of the system. This amount of heat is used for internal energy of system. Okay, so heat transfer and isochoric process is nothing but it is the amount of the heat required to change the internal energy of this system. Okay, so QV, that is the heat transferred in the isochoric process, is nothing but it is approximately equal to the U, that is change in internal energy, which is equal to mCV delta T. Always remember, this is a very important concept. Heat transferred in case of an isochoric process is equal to its internal energy, and its value is mCV delta T. Now the heat transfer in an isobaric process. So what is an isobaric process? Suppose a piston cylinder arrangement is again given to you and heat is been transferred, and now the piston is moving in such a way that the pressure of the gas inside this chamber remains constant. Okay, so piston is moving in such a way that the pressure inside this chamber is always constant. Now heat is given to this system. Since the heat is being transferred, that the temperature is increasing, and once the temperature is increasing, always it is necessary that the internal energy also increases. And apart from the internal energy, this piston is moving. Since the piston is moving, then definitely the work has been done by the gas. So here the amount of heat which is given to this one is used for changing the internal energy as well as the work done. Here heat given is used in changing the internal energy and work done by gas Okay, and since work is done being by the gas, so expansion is there, that's why this work done will always be positive. Okay, so this heat is basically used for changing the internal energy plus work done. So here the heat transferred basically used for two purposes: changing the internal energy, apart from that work done is also there. So heat transfer at constant pressure, let it be QP, is nothing but it is the U plus W. So this were heat transfer used in two different ways. Okay, and this heat transfer is mCV delta T, while the internal energy, this is nothing but it is mCV delta T for heat used for changing the internal energy plus W. And obviously, since W is a positive quantity, so Cp can be nothing but it is Cv plus W upon m delta T. So this value will always be positive, so that's why Cp is always greater than Cv. So Cp is the specific heat at constant pressure and Cv is the specific heat at constant volume. Okay, this is the specific heat at constant pressure, this is the specific heat at constant volume. So always remember, a specific heat at constant pressure is always greater than to the specific heat at constant volume, because in specific heat at constant volume only internal energy plays the role, while in case of specific heat at constant pressure, apart from internal energy, work is also being considered, because work done by the gas taking place. That's why Cp is always greater than Cv, and this is very important, and you have to remember this one, that Cp must be greater than Cv. Okay, and in later on we will discuss then Cp upon Cv, that the ratio of these two will be nothing but it is known as the gamma, that is the adiabatic index. This is known as adiabatic index. This is known as adiabatic index. So this is the heat transfer in isobaric process. Which is greater, Cp or Cv? Obviously Cp is greater than Cv. Always remember this thing. Okay, and why Cp is greater than Cv? So the answer is, as I have explained you, that Cp constitute internal energy plus work, while Cv constitute only internal energy. That's why Cp is greater than Cv. Okay, one problem is there. Suppose we have been given a problem of heat transfer, that a milk chilling unit can remove heat from the milk at a rate of 41.87 megajoule per hour, okay, and heat leaks into the milk from the surrounding at an average rate of 4.187 megajoule per hour. Okay, find the time required for the cooling a batch of 500 kilogram of milk from 46 degrees centigrade to 5 degrees centigrade. Take Cp for the milk to be 4.187 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. So how much amount of the heat has been transferred? Total heat transferred how much? Q is equal to mCp delta T. What is the m? M is nothing but 500 kg of milk. What is Cp? Cp is 4.187, and what is delta T? Change in temperature is 45 minus 5, that is 40. This much amount of kilojoule, this much amount of heat is basically transferred. And what is the rate of heat transfer? 4.187 megajoule per hour, and this much amount is leakage, and the net rate of heat is 41.87 minus 4.187 megajoule per hour. So total time required, how much will be the time required? This divided by this, that is 500 into 4.187 into 40 divided by 41.87 minus 4.187. This is kilojoule, this is megajoule. So this is 10 raised to the power 3 kilojoule hour. This much amount of hour. So once you calculate, you will get this answer, that is 2 hours 13 minutes. So this is basically, we have used here mCp delta T, and this is heat transferred at a specific pressure. Cp is the specific heat at constant pressure. Okay. So this is basically your heat transfer. And heat transfer, the only important thing is Cp and Cv, that how much amount of heat transferred at constant pressure and how much amount of heat transferred at constant volume. And what is the heat transfer? Heat transfer is nothing but it is the energy transfer by virtue of the temperature difference. Work transfer and heat transfer, and now both constitute very important part because of the closed system, because in closed system only energy transfer takes place by virtue of heat transfer as well as the work transfer. So we have to analyze these two for the closed system. And now in the next topic we will discuss the first law of thermodynamics and Joule's law, that we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, thank you.